from Carrollton, Texas, Legacy Squad podcast. I'm your host, Alex Tabor. Alongside me, as always, is
Laquan Butler.
So what are we talking about today, Laquan? I know we're kind of hyped up, and the team's all excited still and thriving off of the stuff that we heard about. Where were we at?
So, guys, we were in Las Vegas, Nevada. We rented out the MGM Grand. It was about, 15,000 people there?
Yeah, about close to 15,000 licensed life insurance agents. And I don't know if, I know some of you are probably new to the whole podcast and following me or following Laquan, but it's not really your typical life insurance 40s, 50-year-old people, boring in suits. I mean, it's exciting.
Yes. So it was an event from Tuesday through Friday, and the word life insurance was probably mentioned for about 2 hours.
I don't even know if it was mentioned at all.
The carriers were there, so we had a chance to link with National Life Group, American National, Mutual of Omaha,
North American.
Your favorite, North American, Foresters, some of our top carriers that we represent, and we got a better understanding so we can better help our clients.
And that's exactly right. Middle class America needs this information, and sadly, we don't have enough licensed life insurance agents out there. I mean, I know for one, I didn't ever think about going into this field. I thought I was going to be turning wrenches for a living the rest of my life. What about you?
I was going to be in the car business. I was in it for 10 years, so life insurance wasn't the talk of the town. And then I was in a practice company before this, and they bashed life insurance. You know, all he kept talking about was, oh, you don't need it because you're going to die anyway, which was, very immature. And then when you get to understand it, that 5% of the wealthy use it. So when you're understanding the rules of the money game, you realize there's way more to life insurance than what people think.
A lot more than I ever thought it was, and that's the thing is whenever our mentor and coach started teaching us more and more about it on how the wealthy use life insurance, and it's not just for death, they actually use it to build and grow their wealth without, basically cutting Uncle Sam out of their whole circle of problems with their finances, minimizing the taxes they got to pay, passing down generational legacies. It's amazing what life insurance is actually meant for, but yet middle class America thinks that it's only for death.
So, question for you: what would you say is one thing that you know now about life insurance that you didn't know before the industry?
Retirement savings. I didn't know you could use a retirement or a life insurance policy as a retirement plan, and learning how to structure what's called a LIRP, which first time I thought, when I heard it, I was like, is that like a TikTok dance movie or something, or what is that? And he's like, no, man, it's a life insurance retirement plan. Look, we structure it this way, and you start plugging in the numbers and adjusting everything, and you're like, man, you don't get a life insurance like this for a death benefit. You get life insurance like this to access and grow your money tax-free, grow it with the indices of the stock market, not being directly in the stock market, but when the stock market does do good, you do good. But when the stock market does bad, you're protected. You don't lose anything.
Exactly.
That's crazy. And then, like I said, just cutting out taxes, because we all know most of us have got a 401k or, something like a 403b or an IRA, or maybe if you're lucky, you got familiar with a Roth account and you got a Roth IRA or something like that, which I got a Roth account because my dad was pretty savvy when it comes to finances, but he was one of those, he's a business owner. He thought life insurance was just for death. So he's like, man, you got a good job, you're an employee, get a 401k, a company match 401k, and since you're not making, the amount of money over what the limit is for a Roth account, we need to get you a Roth IRA set up so you can have more control over your money. Ideally, that's what we all want, right? Is more control over our money.
Correct. And I told people, an IRA is a step in the right direction. I just wouldn't have one. I wouldn't. And then, so to piggyback off of what you said before, so one thing that I knew that I know now about life insurance that I didn't know before I got into the industry was return of premium. Because think about it.
Cool.
A lot of people say, you know what, I have a term policy. I have a term policy through my job, yada, yada, yada. And there's some people who say, you know what, I don't need it because, I'm going to outlive it and then I lose the money. And then I'm like, but you have car insurance.
You got phone insurance.
And then, but with car insurance, you don't get none of that money back. You have to pay for it every single month. If you don't pay for it, you get license suspended. Health insurance, you have to pay that every single month.
Yeah.
You don't get none of that money back.
No.
And if you don't have health insurance, you get hit on tax time, penalized. Phone insurance, you don't get none of that money back. So people look at life insurance in general as this is a waste of money. I'm not getting my money back. And then I found out about return of premium, where nobody talks about, but it's the same thing. It's a 30-year term policy, but if you don't pass away, you get all of your monthly payments back to you in a check, tax free.
Yeah. I actually, it shocked me because I had a return of premium. And I didn't even know it because the agent never explained it to me, right? So when I went out and I got my first home, my mortgage, of course they try to say how you need some mortgage protection.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell is mortgage protection? I don't know. Okay, what's mortgage protection? Well, if you pass away, make sure your family's covered and they get to still live in the house. Oh, okay, yeah, I need that. Makes sense. Well, fortunately, they put me in a return of premium. I just didn't know it because they didn't explain it.
They worded it real
But
nice.
most of the time, when we're sitting with our clients nowadays and we're going over the policies that maybe they currently have, and you're like, well, what did you get this policy for? It's a 30-year term policy, but it doesn't have something that we also learned about, living benefits.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not a return of premium. It's just a basic 30-year term, and you're paying an astronomical amount for it. And then, of course, you see what carrier it's with, and it's like, oh, yeah, now I know why you're paying that much.
Yep.
Let me show you something else. And we're able to get them into a better policy with living benefits, which you can explain what living benefits are here in a moment, but living benefits, and it's a return of premium so that now, once they do outlive the policy, 30 years, they got to pay it off mortgage. They no longer need maybe that amount of coverage, or maybe they got some other coverages that or like a retirement planning or something like that. Once that one ends, they get all their premiums back. Now they can take their family out on a vacation, do some honeydews around the house, or upgrade the kitchen or bathroom or something.
Correct. And then the living benefits is, we call it the new school insurance. All right. So I'll ask you, Alex, do you know of anyone who's ever had a heart attack before?
Oh yeah.
What about stroke?
Yeah.
Someone that was diagnosed with cancer.
Unfortunately.
What about somebody who needed to get put into a group home?
Yeah. Check marked all the boxes.
What about somebody who got hit with Alzheimer's disease?
Thankfully, no. But I did hear that the living benefits covers that now.
So any critical, chronic, or terminal illness, you have access to your death benefit while you're alive. That's living benefits. Also, access to cash value while you're alive.
Now that's not in a return of premium,
No.
or a 30-year term, or 20, or 15, or 10, or whatever kind of term policy they get. But that is something with what's called an IUL, right?
Any permanent policy.
Well, not whole life though, because whole life don't have living benefits, right?
Talking about cash value.
Cash value, yeah.
Yes,
So
not living benefits.
But that's where people get confused. They hear about whole life all the time because whole life's been around so long.
They're the OGs.
So with whole life insurance, whenever you start, maybe posting TikToks or Reels or something like that, all of a sudden these people are hearing, cash value accumulation, and you can retire with a life insurance policy, you can become your own bank. Well, they immediately think whole life because that's what they know about.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not what we're talking about.
Yeah. And these policies are, in my terms, the next best, or the best thing since pants with pockets. Why? Because this is what the Rockefellers used. They're 8 generations deep of billionaires.
Yeah.
This is what Ray Kroc used. He started McDonald's. He borrowed from his policy to start McDonald's. J.C. Penney's. Who else?
Sam Walton.
Walt Disney World. So
Well, that was
not-
Walmart.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
But Walt Disney did the same thing.
So Walt Disney borrowed from his policy to start Disney World. So these policies have been around. So when people are trying to call it trash value, it's not the product, it's the agent.
Right. Because there's so many people, and that's another reason why there's so many people that aren't familiar with it. It's been around for so long, but there's agents out there that aren't comfortable structuring it in the proper way. And the ones that do try to, if they don't know what they're doing, well, they're doing the client a huge disservice because, one, maybe they do know what they're doing and they're just structuring it for their pockets because you can't do that. But two, if you don't structure it properly and you don't know what you're doing, it could eat itself.
Correct.
And then the client's left unprotected.
Correct. And that's why I love what we do. Because we have a fiduciary responsibility to do what's right by the client. We don't work for one company. I'm not going to name any names, but we represent over how many different companies?
Over 400 now. Because we just got acquired, guys. Last year, we got acquired by a larger company, and it gave us even more carriers to work with. So it's like, man, this is so much better than being someone in a red polo with wearing khakis.
Exactly. And that brings me back to the event that we were just at, because we had to witness 20 individuals who received equity
ownership in this multi-billion-dollar company, bigger than the Dallas Cowboys,
bigger than CVS,
bigger than the entire NFL. It's crazy.
So guys, imagine you had the opportunity to become a partner of Google when they were still in the garage.
That'd be nuts.
Or Amazon when he was still in the garage. Imagine you had the opportunity to become just a smidgen of a partner, and look where they're at now. So this is what just happened. We had to witness that, and what I love about it, because I am one of the co-owners of PHP as well. So it it showed me where my future was going. So there's nothing that nobody can tell me. There's people who left our company to go to other ones, but I'm like, yeah, they don't offer equity.
No, and even if they
you
do,
don't keep your book of business.
It's equity in a much smaller company.
So, yeah, they just don't offer equity. I haven't heard of any other company offering partnership.
No,
so
not like this anyway.
So, who was your favorite speaker?
Oh man, there's so many.
Top three.
Top three. Well, obviously Khabib had to be. I mean, fighter background. I used to fight in a cage as well. MMA, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Whole reason for me getting involved in the industry was my master passed away and didn't have any life insurance. Family had to, his wife had to go back to being a nurse. They had to sell his two practices, the home, everything. And coming from that background, hearing Khabib and his mentality of, I mean, the dude grew up fighting a bear as a kid. Yeah. His dad was like
watching the video. He was really wrestling a bear.
Wrestling a bear. How many of you out there have kids that you just be like, go outside, wrestle bear? You do it now because that's what men do. No, especially not here in the Western world. We get so sensitive. We don't even know what fucking gender we're at.
Oh, I do. I don't pay attention.
I mean, it's sad what's happening in the Western culture right now with men and women and the other 36 genders that we have now, supposedly. But Khabib, I love listening to Khabib. His mentality of, work ethic is just being unbeatable.
Mm-hmm.
The mentality is, with him, it's just, he breaks it down to where it's just so simple. It's just train, do what you're supposed to do,
dominate,
get in the cage, block everything else out, and smash the other person's face.
That was a big takeaway. He says people can train, but once the noise hits you, you lose focus. You can lose all of it.
Yeah.
It's like you're studying, you're practicing, scripts, or you're practicing, products, and once you sit down with that family, and they're asking questions, and it's like, oh,
you start getting hit with objections.
Exactly.
And
That's
if
why
you
gotta
don't
know
know
your
your stuff,
Gotta know your stuff.
that's just like if you're in car sales.
Exactly.
If you're in car sales, you gotta know the product. It all starts with knowing what industry you're in and knowing, being a student of the business.
Exactly.
But
who's your so Khabib was your top?
Khabib was
speaker?
my top. I also liked.
Khabib was my last.
Really,
Yeah.
really. I like the restaurant guy.
But you don't know his name.
No, I forgot his name. For some reason, I have Charlie Kirk on my mind, and that was our speaker last year. What is his name? Guidara. Will Guidara.
There it is.
There it is. Will Guidara. His mentality was awesome. Learn about his restaurants, and even when he finally thought he made it and got on the list of all lists, the worldwide list of top restaurants all around the world, and he gets nominated. If it's like the Oscars of the restaurant industry, flies overseas, is nominated, is proud of his restaurant, that he's thinking, man, I made it. I'm on the list. And they're naming these restaurants. And the restaurant industry, you don't want to, you don't want to be the top, right? You wanted to be the bottom.
Mm-hmm. And it was ranked top 50 restaurants in the world. And he thought it was going to be around 33.
Yeah.
And when they hit the numbers, he was
the last one on the list.
Number 50.
It's like, oh my, and he like, I couldn't imagine. Yeah, I could. So pouring that kind of effort into something, and then all of a sudden, but that's the world. I mean, 50 restaurants in the world. That's a huge achievement right there.
That's a lot.
But if you guys ever heard of that restaurant, it's in New York, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where even the plates. Because some people, I don't know why I don't do this. Maybe you do this, but you pick up the plate and you look at the bottom of the plate.
No, I just eat my food.
That's what I do. But there's weird people out there. They pick up the plate and they look at the bottom of the plate to see, I guess, what kind of plate it is or something, and they set it back down. This guy runs his ship so well and is so well orchestrated and detailed that when you pick up the plate and turn the plate over, the name is facing you the right way. It's not upside down. So the details.
So that's why he was your second favorite speaker. Okay.
It's just the detail oriented in running a business like that and building it from where it was just like one of the crappiest, nobody recognized it as nothing places to top 50 in the world.
Okay.
That's cool.
And
Third, my man Ricky. I gotta give it to Ricky. I like Ricky Aguilar. Every time he speaks, even if it's not on stage and even if it's just from where he's sitting and he's beating his chest, I love hearing Ricky Aguilar. Ricky's one of my favorites. He's like...
So you like when he beats his chest?
He's my spirit animal. What about you, man? What about you?
Alright. So, my top 3. I would say it wasn't Khabib. I was honored to see him and meet him, but his answers were like generic. I was looking for some.
Well, he's from a different country.
Yeah,
he barely knows.
But
English.
he was so strategic with his responses. What did you do that made you a dominator? I train and I dominate. That's not something I would write in my notes. You know what I mean? I'm more of a.
You didn't write punch him in the face in your notes.
Yeah. So I think with me being a thought leader, I'm looking at people's strategies, their concepts. So Pelayo, I would say, was one of my favorite speakers, because his strategy on dominating and hitting $1 million.
That was good.
He drew it out.
I did put that in my notes.
He drew it out. My second favorite speaker, I would say, was Sheena. And here's why. She broke down why people are broke strategically. And then she broke down how to solve that. Because in this industry, you make a lot of money, guys. You make a lot of money. And I made 6 figures in the car business for a decade. 1099 hits totally different than W2. So and then in the car business, you're taught like you make a lot of money and blow that money, because it makes you wired and your hustle stronger to make that money right back. It's like a high you're chasing, like that commission, that commission. So
It's also where you get commission breath, though.
exactly. So she taught us how to be mature with the money that we're making, because this is the industry. You will, if you follow the system, you will become a millionaire in 3 to 5 years. And I love how she broke it down, and I also loved how she strategically debated everyone as a woman.
she chose her words so carefully and so well. The entire time she was up there debating, it was like, if you weren't paying attention and you really weren't, like, didn't listen to it and know her and Pelayo, you wouldn't catch the little, like, jabs she's poking at him. Like, take that.
And then I would say my next speaker, I wouldn't say Vargas, only because I got to talk to him in my car.
That was badass.
So he reiterated a lot of things there. So I would go with Chris Hart, being an African American male. I related to everything he said. And then another thing I noticed too, with him going, heavy in the gym, his whole mental's different.
Oh yeah.
His whole mental's different.
They're about to start an event out here, guys. That's probably why I wasn't somebody screaming out there, I promise.
So, and then I learned that, I've always known it, but I've never been so motivated to go crazier in the gym now, because as you're developing your body and you're working out and you're pushing yourself, it opens up another level of warrior inside of you, which translates to your business, to your family, to your household, to how you handle situations. And I like the fact that working out teaches you delayed gratification
and discipline.
Discipline.
I mean, that's something that,
and you see that in him, and to watch him become partner in Integrity Marketing Group.
Yeah.
And then him being recognized, and they're telling him, you're going to be the face of the face of the black communities.
I mean, he came from Compton, right?
Came from Compton.
That's crazy.
So those are my favorite speakers. I was looking at how they delivered, then how it was received, and how they articulated things. That was what I was looking for. I wasn't looking for like, this person made this much money in this amount of time. Because
the money's gonna come.
It's gonna come. You follow the system, you're gonna make the money.
Yeah, and like Sheena's husband Matt, he's told us in the office before that this industry it tricks you. Because of the amount of money you can make so fast, you get comfortable real easy.
Yeah.
Or it's easy for you to slip into the mindset of, well, everybody should be driving a Benz. Why don't you have a Porsche? Why aren't you living in a house that's $2,000 every month, or $4,000 every month, or $6,000 every month for your mortgage?
$30,000
or $30,000 a month for your mortgage, and then you kind of have to get slapped with reality of what most people are dealing with right now, and people are struggling so much right now just with a mortgage payment that's like $900 a month, or rent that's even cheaper than that, and obviously that depends on which state you're in, but. Guys, this industry is real, and like Laquan said, the amount of money that's in it, if you're in it for the money, you're in it for the wrong reason. Yes, there's a lot of money to be made here, but there's a lot of people to be served as well. And middle class America, the whole reason that they're collapsing and they're struggling right now so bad is because they were never taught any of these financial principles. They were taught exactly what the government and Wall Street and the banks wanted them to know. Put your money here. If you got any more left, put your money here, and we're going to tax you on both.
And we'll make more money.
And we'll all make more money except for you. It doesn't benefit you. Life insurance. That's why they don't push life insurance. Life insurance benefits who? The policyholder, or whoever the policy's on.
Mm-hmm. And that's it. What would you say after leaving the event? Your first mode of implementation. You said, when I get back, this is what I'm going to tackle first.
First thing is obviously growing a bigger base shop, getting a larger team, so that I can operate on a larger scale. It's one thing coming up with trainings and good presentations and slides and stuff. If you got a small team, I mean, yeah, it's good. They're still getting trained, but when you have a larger team, now you've got competition getting struck up. Now you got others, this guy's competing with this guy, competing with that guy, competing with it. And you start getting little teams formed under you where you got this group of guys. It's like maybe this guy brought in 4 of his friends, and this guy over here brought in his 2 brothers and his cousin. And now they're going head to head with each other. That's great because it's capitalism for one.
Yeah.
But for 2, more people are getting served. And nobody's being casual. Because we all know if you're casual in business, you're a casualty of business.
Correct.
So, but what about you? I know speed of implementation and growing my team, it was a big thing for me. What would you say the number one thing is? You're going to, bam, that's it. Light bulb went off.
The reason why I'm smiling is because what I was going to say wouldn't sound right. So I got to word it to where it doesn't sound. So it's doing not doing the easy thing.
Okay.
So, like getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning.
So, like Mike Tyson said, do what you don't want to do.
So that's what I've been implementing. Sacrifice. Do what's hard now so the rest of life can be easier, or do what's easy now so the rest of life can be hard. So with me, with my calendar being crazy now, because I'll normally get up around whenever I got up, and then I'll
easy to slip into that when you're a business owner.
So now,
your own business.
Since I got back, I'm getting up at 5 o'clock. I pray, meditate, and then I go work out, and then my blood's flowing. I have the rest of the day. Now I'm ready. I'm up.
Of course, you're in a better mood too.
Now I'm in a better mood because I got
all the.
I love the gym.
People underestimate the gym.
Yeah.
And I think that whenever they hear, because there's a lot of people out there on Instagram and stuff that talk about this, is, hey, you need to work out, you need to get back in the gym, you need to get into shape. If you're fat, you shouldn't be fat. And they're like, oh, that's going to offend somebody. I'm offended. But people underestimate so much the power of the gym and the power of being in shape and the power of physical fitness, because when you walk into a room, I mean, it's one thing to be in a suit like what me and you wear.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a completely different vibe, I guess, or a completely different presence in the room whenever you enter a room and you're wearing a nice fitted suit and you're fit versus you're morbidly obese and you got a suit on that you look like a fat guy in a little coat.
A man wears a suit. A suit doesn't wear a man.
That's it.
So it's a different confidence level, things like that. And that's it. You have a good arm pump day and all of a sudden your shirt looks,
You're like stretching out your suit going, man, I can see my bicep through my suit. Like it. Feel like Tristan Tate or Andrew or something.
But yeah, that was it, man. Just focus on doing what's uncomfortable. Cause I'm looking to tap. I wonder what that next level is for me. That next mountain. So that's what I'm excited about doing it. And then, guys are wrapping up. I'll say, final thoughts.
To end on, I can't believe neither one of us mentioned PBD as one of those speakers, but the part where when he said talking about a mountain, it brought it back of PBD talking about the 14 mountains.
Yeah.
And every time you climb up to the top of one mountain, you're like, I made it. Yes, I climbed the mountain. And you look over and you're like, shit, there's a taller mountain over there. Now I got to climb that one.
Mm-hmm.
And you finally get to the top of that mountain, and there was different struggles, and there was different obstacles, and there was different challenges on that mountain than there was on the previous mountain. And once you got to the top of that one, you're like, I made it. I got it, man. I'm on this one now. And you look over and you're like, damn, there's another freaking mountain.
But think about the person you're becoming.
Exactly.
So.
And you don't ever look back and go, what was it like climbing that mountain again? You're always looking at the next mountain that's in front of you and the next challenge that's in front of you.
That's a nice pocket square.
Man, Ron keeps telling me that every time he sees me wearing this suit. I put the pocket square
That's
on.
nice.
He's like, I'm going to steal that pocket square from you. I like that pocket square. I'm a pocket square fanatic guy. I just don't wear the bow ties like Ron does.
But yeah, so I would say with this event, coming from this event, my final thoughts was I'm excited to have my girls with me to cross the stage in front of 15,000 people.
That was awesome. You had your girls cross the stage with you. I had my mom crossing the stage with me.
And it's at MGM Grand. There's about 15,000 people watching, just cheering you on.
Most people go to Vegas to lose money.
Yeah, I didn't.
We didn't lose any money.
I didn't even gamble.
No, we don't. I
took my girls to go see the Sphere.
How was it? I didn't get to go.
It was amazing. It wasn't an eyeball. I'm gonna post a picture. But
it looks like Jupiter from like.
So it was like Mars. So each day is like a different theme.
Yeah.
And then we took them to the Bellagio.
It's a hotel, isn't it?
No.
What is it?
I don't know what
it
is.
It's a big ass globe.
Big ass globe. I don't know. But we took them there. Then we took them to the Bellagio.
Get to see the fountains.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So they watched the fountain show. They ate freaking good. I still haven't checked my account yet. All I know is that's all gonna be tax write-offs. But we spent a lot of money.
Another benefit of being a 1099.
Yes, but still, I still wasn't comfortable swiping that card. The Lord knows they spent a lot of money in Vegas, but that's why I do what I do. So I was excited to come back and just implement what we learned. I have pages upon pages of notes, and just being around a bunch of leaders, multimillionaires, who's showing you what they did, how much money they made, and what they did to get there, and they say, here, now you do it.
That's another. I mean, if you guys don't have a mentor in your life or somebody that has done what you wanted to do or are wanting to do, and are able to condense the time frame. It took them, let's say, 7 years to become a millionaire. Well, now it should only take you 5. And it should only take your guy that you're teaching, your mentoring, 3. Because now he's getting the mentorship from you and the person that you're following. So it's all a system. And if you ain't got a system, you're just lost out there trying to figure it out on your own. It's going to take you forever.
Yeah, you can miss me with that self-made stuff. Give me a system, a proven system, and watch me go to work. That's it.
But guys, I'm excited. We got some more nuggets to share with you. When's our next podcast going to be? I feel like we should do another one this week.
I'm with it. Tell them what we're going to cover.
So let's stay, because Friday night, we got Friday night fights for our teams.
That's not this week.
That's not this week. So maybe we'll do it Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
Friday night before our next event on Saturday. So I've got a presentation that I'm excited to share with you guys. It's millennials that are maybe lost, don't know where to go financially, or got a lot of questions to cover. So I made a few slides, a presentation that we're going to go through, and as I'm going through them, I'll share them. I'll make sure that they're kind of on the back wall or something right here. Whenever we edit the video, I'll make sure they're added so you guys can follow along. But super excited to where the podcast is headed and where we're going, and I'm excited for our teams.
Definitely.
Our teams are going to explode and dominate the industry.
I'm with it.
Awesome. Appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll see you next time on the squad.